Hi, I'm going to take you on a short tour of the allotment just to show you how things are developing. These are the fruit bushes, the raspberries and the loganberries, and they've done quite well this year. I've had a few punnets of fruit and a handful of berries every time I come down, but they're more or less finished now. There's just the odd one, so I'm just going to let them grow now, and in the autumn I shall prune them back and just keep the stems I want to grow on for next year. These are the artichokes and the rhubarb. The rhubarb's looking quite good really, and I'm giving it plenty of water. The artichokes, I think they got a bit dry. They produced a few buds, but they've stopped producing now, and I think they dried off. They'll be back next year though, of course. These are the strawberries. They've been a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. A lot of effort for not very much return. I've had a few nice berries off them, but I think the slugs have had a better one. These are tomato plants, and so far they're looking good. They might succumb yet to blight, but I'm hopeful, ever hopeful. I'm giving this corner of the allotment over to wildlife. I suppose it's not very much, and it won't make very much difference, but it might provide a home for some of the bees and other pollinating insects. And anyway, it's fun. This is the tree that I wanted to dwarf slightly by ring barking, but as you can see, it's a vigorous tree. It's still growing like crazy, and I don't know what the answer will be. It might be the end for that tree. The other apples and pears are doing quite well. This pear tree's got a few fruit on it. So is this apple tree, and this one too. Quite a bit of fruit. One or two of them are not producing, but that might be a sign that they're going to produce fruit next year and go on to a biennial pattern. This is my what are they called, russets, russet tree. That's got a few fruit on it. It's looking quite promising. And the rosebush producing flowers, looking lovely. And the grapevine, which is very vigorous but not very productive in the way of grapes. As you can see, they're still small and green, and they don't get much bigger and much blacker than that. There's always a few green ones in the bunch, but hey, well, the leaves are good. The potatoes have more or less finished growing. They're dying back, but there's quite a few under the ground, and I've yet to dig them up. I'll dig them up as I need them. The green section of the allotment, kale, looking good and strong, almost ready to pick. What's this stuff called, chard, that also is ready to pick. And if you can see them at the back there, there's some little broccoli plants, and I'm hopeful that I'll have broccoli after Christmas. Sweet corn, well, that's doing nicely. I hope it's going to be, well, I hope it's going to be good this year. It was all right last year. I got a few corns, never enough. The beans, well, as you can see, the flat beans, they're like runner beans without the string in them, and they're a French green bean really. They're climbing well, and they're looking good. These ones, these are supposed to be climbing beans, but they don't really want to climb much, and they're producing a few beans, a few bits and pieces of fruit, but it's a bit too close to the ground. And the squash. That is the one courgette plant I have, and it's producing quite a few fruit, and I've already had about 4 of it. And the other squash, well, this is a kind of Japanese squash that produces these large round fruits. I've got 1 or 2 butternut squash plants as well, which haven't produced anything yet, but I hope they will, because butternut squash is a very nice thing. Well, last of all, I have to show you my gooseberry bush. It's a long way from producing fruit yet, but it's alive and it's looking healthy. And definitely, lastly, I found a new water tank. So I've increased my water storage, and that will hold 240 litres, I believe, of water. Well, that is what's happening on the allotment. Everything's looking very productive. I'm getting some vegetables every day. I was going to spray my apple tree today, which has a bit of green fly, but the spray seems to have lost its O-ring. Don't worry, it'll show up. Anyway, I'll see you later.